Retirement is a dream for many of us, but with the ever-increasing cost of living, the question on everyone's mind is, can I retire comfortably with my savings? Specifically, if you have 500 grand saved up, can you really call it quits and enjoy your golden years in Canada? With inflation being the buzzword of the last couple of years and the uncertainty of the economy, it's crucial to understand the financial implications of retiring with a specific amount of money. Whilst 500,000 may seem like a substantial sum, the reality is that it might not be enough to sustain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. In this video, we're going to explore the possibilities and the challenges of retiring with 500,000, and we'll dive deep into the factors that influence retirement planning. And we'll look at the cost of living, housing expenses, and the potential risks to keep an eye out for as well. Now that we've set the stage, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of what 500 grand can realistically offer in terms of retirement planning. To begin, we need to gain a comprehensive understanding of the current and projected financial landscape for retirees in Canada. The average cost of living for retirees, it varies wildly across the different provinces and regions in Canada. A 2021 Canadian income survey showed that the average after-tax income for a retired family in Canada stood at just shy of $70,000, while for an individual it was just over $31,000. That's quite a gap, isn't it? It's almost double, and that discrepancy caught my eye. In our experience with clients, the gap between individual and household income, it usually isn't that wide. So let's break it down with a wee bit of common sense. If a couple needs $70,000 for a comfortable retirement, an individual will likely need 50 to 55. It's not exactly half, it's more like 3/4 of the couple's requirement. So when you see a spread like 31 to just under 70,000, it raises a few eyebrows. In our experience working with our clients across Canada, we've noticed a trend. Now everyone's different, and ultimately it comes down to lifestyle. Do you still rent or have a mortgage? How many cars do you drive? What about out-of-pocket healthcare? This all has an impact on the numbers, but based on what we see, the average household, which includes both individuals and couples, spends around $5,000 to $8,000 after tax each month. Quick break here. Yeah, I won't bore you with the spiel. You know what to do. So now that we have a grasp on the overall retirement landscape in Canada, let's focus on calculating your potential retirement income based on your $500,000 of savings. The 4% rule, it's a popular strategy. Just to be clear, it isn't actually a rule, but that's what it's commonly referred to. In any case though, the 4% rule suggests that you can safely withdraw 4% of your savings each year without depleting your principal. For example, if you've got $500,000 in savings, you could potentially withdraw $20,000 per year as income. However, it's important to note that this rule is a guideline and it may not be suitable for everyone. Your specific circumstances, such as your age, risk tolerance, and investment strategy, will play a huge role in determining the appropriate withdrawal rate. Make sure you don't forget your other sources of retirement income as well. CPP and OAS benefits will make up a huge part. And if you're lucky enough to have one, an employer pension through your work, do also consider if you plan on doing any part-time work or whether you'll have any rental income. It's also important to consider the impact of inflation. As we've just witnessed over the past few years, a spike in inflation rates can erode your savings purchasing power over time. And don't forget to factor in potential changes to economic policy and taxes. You do not need this Scotsman to tell you that the government has spent a barrel load of money that it doesn't have in recent years, which at some point or another, they're going to look to recoup that. How do you put all this together? Well, I would certainly recommend that you seek out a financial planner to better understand your unique situation. Well, of course, the financial planner says that. Didn't see that coming. Fair enough, you got me there, but in all seriousness, I take great pride in what we do here at Bellwether, and I know there's many great planners out there who are worth their weight in gold when it comes to knitting this all together. If you want to go it alone though, do check out the link to our retirement calculator, which I'll leave in the show note. It'll give you some good basic information. So with a clear picture of your potential retirement income, the next step is to determine how far that money will stretch. Even with a modest retirement income, careful budgeting can help make your 500 grand go further. Let's break down some typical retirement expenses. Housing, as you might expect, takes the lion's share. Typically, you should expect that about 35 to 40% of your retirement expenses will go to keeping a roof over your head. Obviously, there's going to be some variation to this. Where you live is a huge factor, and whether you're still paying off a mortgage, fully owning your home, renting, or living in a condo will also play a significant role. There may be a lot of you out there that don't pay close attention to that. Healthcare costs can also be a significant factor, especially as we age. Despite our universal healthcare system, there's still many expenses that are not covered. The Globe and Mail estimates that the average retiree in Canada may need to pay about $5,000 a year in out-of-pocket medical expenses. Remember, some years may see lower healthcare spending, but there's always unforeseen expenses such as dental work. The good news is though that with Canada introducing new dental programs, some of these costs might be mitigated. Don't forget about transportation costs either, which can easily tally up $700 to $1,000 monthly. By the time you factor in vehicle ownership costs, insurance, fuel, and even travel-related transport. Food and utilities are the other two major expenses, and you don't need me to tell you how much food costs in this country. But what about the fun part of retirement, like travel? Remember, your early retirement years are a prime time for adventure and exploration. Typically up till, we see typical, but your mid-70s. I would suggest you embrace a laddered income strategy. Front load your retirement with more funds for travel and leisure, while you still have the energy and enthusiasm to enjoy these experiences to the fullest. As you transition into your late 70s and beyond, your spending in these areas is likely going to taper off. Not for all, but for most of you. Finally, don't forget to allocate a portion of your budget to health and wellness activities. Regular exercise, yoga classes, or even joining a health club can play a vital role in maintaining your well-being. To reduce your expenses, downsizing to a smaller home or relocating to a more affordable area. Additionally, seek out seniors discounts and take advantage of government assistance programs where applicable. While budgeting is crucial, it's also important to consider potential risks and how to mitigate them. Retirement planning isn't just about budgeting. Think about, unexpected events, maybe like medical expenses, the roof blowing off the house, long-term care needs, or market volatility that could impact your investment portfolio. One thing I would certainly recommend is having an emergency fund set aside for unexpected expenses. How much will depend on your comfort level, but ideally it should cover at least 6 months worth of living expenses. Long-term care insurance is another option to consider, as it can help cover the costs of assisted living or nursing home care should you need it in the future. Additionally, a diversified portfolio goes without saying. On top of that, have a strategy in place for what to do during the next market downturn. Being flexible with your withdrawals and taking less during down markets can allow your portfolio to recover more quickly. Check out the link in the show notes to my free guide on how far $500,000 will last in retirement. It covers everything in this video, plus much more. Throughout this video, we've explored the possibilities and challenges of retiring with 500 grand in Canada in 2024. When you start to add in government pensions and other sources of income you may have, it's certainly possible to retire with this amount. But it will require careful planning, budgeting, and risk management. Remember, retirement planning is a journey, and with proper planning and realistic expectations, it's possible to achieve a comfortable retirement, even with a modest savings amount. If you like this video, you will love this next one on 5 retirement steps that are more important than money.